Good morning, Coffee County. I'm Matthew Bloomquist.
And I'm Jones. Today we've got some local news coming your way.
And a couple of stories for our men in blue, including a story about a law avoiding lemur. You don't hear that one every day. This week, an Alabama band director was tased after he had refused to stop his band's performance. The teacher, Johnny Mims, was performing his last song of the night when officers told him to stop the performance and to clear the stadium. Mims explained how the song was wrapping up and both schools had agreed on the performance.
After the performance was over, officers attempted to arrest Mims and tased him because he wasn't complying. He was taken to jail for resisting arrest and allegedly pushing an officer. Mims claims that he was caught off guard and is still recovering from the situation after being released.
This should serve as a reminder to always listen to the police and comply with the law. Speaking of complying with the law, last week, out of all things, a Missouri Police Department had to chase down a lemur.
Two officers holding onto a towel had to chase down the speedy animal. After a failed attempt to capture the lemur when attempting to use the towel as a net, the officers caught up to the creature and captured it with the help of some civilians.
It was reunited with its owners, but unfortunately for them, the lemur must be transferred to a local wildlife agency.
And up next is Cole with your Sports Minute.
John is a smart kid. He has good friends he wants to see again. So John drives responsibly. He silences his phone when he drives and always remembers to wear his seatbelt. He stops at red lights and goes when they turn green. He keeps his music low so he can hear his surroundings. Paul, on the other hand,
Thanks, Emma. I'm Phil Fowler bringing you the Sports Minute. This is a special week as it's homecoming week this Friday. Our Red Raider football team plays home against Riverdale. As a former football player, the crowd's atmosphere plays a huge role on how we play. So, win, lose, or tie, I want to see you stop on by. Last week's player of the game, Tyler Martin, is another great defensive player. With a huge tackle on fourth down and an interception in the end zone, this gives you your player of the week. During Sunday night's game between the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins, 53-year-old Dale Mooney was involved in a fan's altercation which resulted in his death. He was transported into Memorial Hospital where he was pronounced dead just before midnight. So we'd like to share our condolences to this tragedy. Next up is August with some great news about this week's weather. Great for some fall sports.
Pop quiz. What's the number one cause of death for teens ages 16 through 19? You might think drugs. You'd be wrong. You might think alcohol. Wrong again. So what kills over 19,000 teens each year? Distracted driving. It's simple. Put down the phone. For more information, go to teendriversource.org and arrive alive.
Thank you, Cole. I'm August, and this week's weather is only going to get worse as the week goes on. Now let's take a look at the forecast. As you all can see, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are the ideal times for those of you who wish to do any outdoor activities that call for warm and dry weather. The highs for those days are 82, 81, and 81 respectively, while the lows are 60, 59, and 58. Sunday will have a 20% chance of rain all day and has a high of 81 and a low of 62. As you can see, Monday also has a chance of rain at 30% throughout the day. Monday's high and low is 77 and 63. With it possibly being so rainy this week, not much outside work is going to get done. So while you're locked inside, maybe get some computer work done, clean the house, or if you're like me and love fall, cozy up with a warm drink and watch some of the best classic Halloween movies. Now, up next is Steven keeping us up to date on some Florida man shenanigans.
I'm tired of my bank. I want to go somewhere that's better.
Well, you know First Vision Bank can make it easier than ever. They can give you cash back on your everyday needs, and if you use a different ATM, they reimburse the fees.
Wow, that's great. Gee, thank you for the tip.
Please, you don't have to thank me. Anyone can make the switch. If you're tired of your bank, don't let them treat you badly. Go to First Vision Bank, right across the road from Zaxby's.
Thanks, August. Now I've got the real truth about the weather down in Florida this week. It's raining Crocs. You heard me right, folks. It's raining Crocs. I'm Steven, and this is your Florida Man Minute. 24-year-old Joshua James was arrested Monday and charged with assault after officials say he threw a 3.5-foot alligator through a Wendy's drive-thru. See, this is why I won't ever work in fast food. His jail records show he was released Tuesday with a $6,000 bond. It's reported that James drove his pickup truck up to the window at about 1:20 a.m. After an employee handed James his drink, he threw the alligator through the window and just drove off. No employees were harmed, and the alligator was also okay. Perhaps the biggest concern would have been if there was infection when he was bit, if the employee was bit, but nothing happened. The alligator was captured and released into the wild with no injuries. After the officials started their search for him, he surprisingly turned himself in and admitted to everything. James's mother, Linda, told WPTV that her son's actions were a stupid prank and that he just does dumb things because he thinks they're funny. I'm not gonna lie, this sounds like a pretty fun prank you can try. All you gotta do is find an alligator first, and maybe you can throw one through Mr. Parsley's office. For legal reasons, I have to say that was a joke. Anyways, I'm Steven, and this has been your Florida Man Minute. See you next week.
This is Stacy and Chad. They're in their last year in high school. They just found out that Stacy is pregnant. And Stacy is in the 30% of teen mothers who will not finish high school. And she will go through this alone because Chad is one of the 8 of 10 teen fathers who are deadbeats.
Wait, what? What am I supposed to do?
You just gotta remember to ask, do you want fries with that? You are also one of the 25% of teen mothers who will have another baby.
I didn't ask for this.
Actually, you did.
And now, for you guys who are constantly losing your phone signal, because I know I sure get frustrated when that happens, well, good news. Coming up at the end of September, Manchester is getting a new T-Mobile store right beside Goodwill.
Making it easier to go find a phone or a home internet plan. And for students who have T-Mobile for your service, you'll have a better connection, and maybe now we can save our frustration for tomorrow's math homework.
Please, I'd still do it.
Well, why don't you go to the rec instead?
Well, Matthew, I don't have the money for it.
Well, that's perfect for our next story. Have you ever wanted to go to the Manchester Rec Center but don't want to spend the $5 fee?
Well, here's your chance. Friday, September 29th, the Manchester Rec Center is hosting a free family night where everyone can come and have a good time and participate in many fun activities.
The pool, the basketball courts, and the youth wellness room will be open to all visitors from 7 to 9 p.m. Come on down and have some fun and hang out with friends.
Speaking of fun time with friends, if you attend the Coffee County Fair and want your picture in the yearbook, respond to Mr. Anderson's email with the photo you want in the yearbook attached.
All right, that brings us to the end of today's news.
Actually, there's something else I'd like to mention. We have a birthday, one of our own.
Oh.
But that is the end of today's news. Have a good day and come back next week on Radar TV.